Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ityukvadri dari kunja Gara Vishvatma Vatsakam Vichinvan Bhagavan Krishna Sapani Kavaloyayo Ityukvadri Dari Kunja Gavadeshvatma Vatsakam Vichinvan Bhagavan Krishna Sapani Kavaloyayo Ityukvadri Dari Kunja Garavishvatma Vatsakam Vichinvan Bhagavan Krishna Sapani Kavaloyayo Iti yuktva, saying this, let me bring your calves personally. Adridari kunja karaveshu, everywhere in the mountains. The mountain, caves, the bushes, and narrow places. Atmavatsakan, the calves belonging to his own personal friends. Vichinvan, searching out. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Sapani Kabbalah, carrying his yogurt and rice in his hand. Yayao started out. Let me go and search for the calves, Krishna said. Don't disturb your enjoyment. Then, carrying his yogurt and rice in his hand, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, immediately went out to search for the calves of his friends. To please his friends, he began searching in all the mountains, mountain caves, bushes, and narrow passages. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The Vedas, Svetasvarata Upanishad, assert that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has nothing to do personally. Natasya karyam pararam cha vidyate, because he is doing everything through his energies and potencies. Parasya shaktire vivadaya shruyate. Nonetheless, here we see that he took personal care to find the calves of his friends. This was Krishna's causeless mercy. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. All the affairs of the entire world and the entire cosmic manifestation are working under his direction, through his different energies. Still, when there is need to take care of his friends, he does this personally. Krishna assured his friends, "Don't be afraid. I am going personally to search for your calves." This was Krishna's causeless mercy. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Dharine Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. Today is Devotee Care Day, and under His Grace Revati Raman Prabhu's direction, I am supposed to speak an introduction to His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami. He will be speaking soon. I have till 8:30, he has 8:30 to 9, yes? So I have about 20 minutes. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj chose this verse. So I believe he wants to speak specifically on it. The spirit here, Hare Krishna, is how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, Param Ishvara, the controller and master of everyone, takes the greatest pleasure in caring for his devotees. Lord Brahma had taken away the calves, and the cowherd boys were in distress. So Krishna, not wanting them to interrupt their prasad eating, he did it himself. You go on eating your prasad, I will go and look for the calves. Krishna himself, in this wonderful pastime, is sacrificing his own lunch so that his devotees could enjoy the lunch. Krishna went through great efforts. It describes in this verse, he didn't just look around or ask somebody. He started searching the mountains, the caves, the forests, everywhere, for the pleasure of his calves and his friends. So this concept of devotee care has no beginning and no end. It's the eternal pastime of Krishna himself, Adi Purusha. When Krishna came here in Sri Mayapur Dham as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he revealed in the role of a devotee how he loves and cares for his devotees. In Jagannath Puri, every year when the devotees made their long journey from Bengal to Puri, Lord Chaitanya would personally greet them in his own residence. He would arrange their accommodations. He was very enthusiastic to arrange proper prasad. He would give each devotee proper assistance to make them happy. And he would lovingly praise his devotees. Shivananda Sen, a grihasta, would arrange for this incredible pilgrimage to Puri. 300-400 devotees, he would arrange everything. The prasad, the accommodations, the health requirements, paying all the tolls and the taxes between one province and another. And we know the story. Even a dog who joined his party, he cared for with such attention, because he considered that dog and all the other Vaishnavas to be so dear to Lord Chaitanya. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciated that so dearly that he told Shivananda saying that, consider me a part of your family. I am also. Your family is my family. To Haridas Thakur, he personally arranged a special place for him just near the Jagannath temple. And because of Haridas's humility, he would not go in the temple. He would, Srila Prabhupada would say it like this: Lord Jagannath himself, in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, would every day come out of the temple and deliver with his own hands Jagannath's prasad to Thakur Haridas. And spend hours every day talking with him about Krishna, appreciating him in every way. In fact, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains in Chaitanya Bhagavat that all the wealth in the entire creation does not equal in value in my heart, Lord Chaitanya said, to one of my devotees. That is how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu valued each and every one of his devotees. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would sometimes say that he shed buckets of blood to bring each and every single devotee to the path of Krishna consciousness. It's interesting how Jayapataka Maharaj, Hare Krishna. It's very interesting how when we hear devotees' memories of Srila Prabhupada, so many times the highlight of devotees' lives were when they were chastised by Srila Prabhupada. And some of the stories are very intense chastisements. But yet, it encouraged them. It enlivened them. It awakened so much faith in them. One of the milestones of their spiritual progress and a treasure that they always hold on to is that chastisement. But I've also seen, on many occasions, that when disciples of Prabhupada chastise their juniors, sometimes they're discouraged. Sometimes they're depressed. Sometimes it drives them away from the society of devotees. How is this? Because Srila Prabhupada told us, do as I am doing. So Prabhupada chastised, so I will chastise. Like a lion. Sadhu means to cut. But there's a difference. Because Srila Prabhupada, through his care, for our body, minds, and especially our souls, he awakened within our hearts deep trust, deep faith that he really cares about us. He really cares about each of us personally. Srila Prabhupada wrote these beautiful books and purports as his love and care to all of us. Srila Prabhupada, in his own personal example and the way he developed this society, even if one never saw Srila Prabhupada personally, and there are hundreds, if not thousands of people, they feel such deep trust in Prabhupada. Because without any ulterior motive, he really cares about giving me the highest thing, love for Krishna. And he's made so much sacrifice for me. How much I need to reciprocate. 26 Second Avenue. The very foundational beginning of the Hare Krishna movement in the West. Hippies were coming. People who weren't following four regulative principles, didn't have any conception of God. But they were taking interest. And Srila Prabhupada saw them as devotees because he saw the potential. Prabhupada's cooking for them, cleaning for them. He was taking care of their health. And he was nourishing their souls with his philosophy, with his kirtans, which was like medicine administered with such compassion. Compassion means to deeply care for the welfare of another. Here in Sri Mayapur Dham, everything you see is a manifestation of Srila Prabhupada's devotee care. During the first Mayapur festival, nothing was really built very well. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was there. And devotees were having to sleep in all sorts of different places, and some were getting sick. And Srila Prabhupada at night would get up and walk around just to see how the accommodations were being made. And he was very, very concerned about devotees' accommodations, their health, their prasad. And this long building At that time, it was the longest building in all of Bengal. At least that's what the movie said that Autobiography made. Why was that building made? It was made for us. Because Srila Prabhupada understood people from the West are coming. They're not accustomed to very, very austere situations. We should give them a nice place to stay. Srila Prabhupada cared. Here in Mayapur, Malati Devi was serving prasad to Srila Prabhupada's god brothers, sannyasis of Gaudiya Math. And Srila Prabhupada said to all of them about Malati Devi, to see this devotee, how much she loves me. She is willing to cut her own throat for me, and I am willing to do the same for her. Something like that. This is why we had such trust and faith in Srila Prabhupada. Because we really felt he cared. We really felt whatever service we did was pleasing him. And that empowered us to do incredible things. People like Vaisheshika Prabhu, practically from sunrise to sunset, enduring the most incredible obstacles and insults and dangers to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. Because he wanted to please Srila Prabhupada. Because he had such faith, such trust, that Prabhupada's going to take me back home, back to Godhead. Here in Mayapur, Srila Prabhupada built these wonderful buildings for us to be accommodated. During a Guru Puja here, when everyone was glorifying him, one devotee had an infection on his foot, and when Srila Prabhupada called that devotee to him and told him what medicine to put on the foot. Because the body is a medium by which we can exchange love with each other and care for each other. And Srila Prabhupada would nourish our souls, our bodies, our minds, and our souls with his incredible kirtans and his wonderful lectures from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. During Prabhupada's last days in Sri Vrindavan Dham, although he was not eating anything, he was calling the leaders of Krishna Balaram Temple to make sure all the devotees were getting nice prasad. Although his body was in such a state that he couldn't move, he was so concerned discussing with his leaders that the devotees were accommodated nicely. And at the same time, Srila Prabhupada's greatest pleasure, Machjita Matgata Prana, Katyantascha Mamnityam, Tushyanti Charamanticha. When we were sharing Krishna Katha, Krishna Kirtan with each other. Very soon, a book by Yamuna Devi, Unalloyed, which is her life story, will be coming out. I happened to read some of it. There was one place when she was living in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada called her to his room at Radha Damodar Temple and instructed Yamuna Devi that I want you to take the responsibility of caring for the devotees. Because when they come to India, they get so sick. They're not accustomed to this type of life. Give them nice prasad. Arrange the best possible accommodations. Encourage them, inspire them. And in this book, we see how she took that instruction very much as her life and soul. To the extent of the last year of her life, for several months she was in Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Mumbai. She was, according to our doctors, Madhavananda Prabhu was here, she was about 90% physically dead when she came. It was almost impossible, her situation. And yet she'd call me up when she was in critical condition and say, I'm leaving here. I said, why are you leaving? She said, because too many people are serving me. I don't like people to serve me. I like to serve others. I said, but you're in a helpless condition. You need that. She said, no, I'd rather die than people serve me. And she was so serious. She was practically ready to walk out the door. She couldn't even walk. She couldn't walk, and she was going to go out the door somehow or other. I said, please understand, Yamuna Devi. You're one of the closest people they've ever seen that brings them to Srila Prabhupada. When they're serving you, they're serving Srila Prabhupada. Give them that chance. So she said, all right, I will stay. Then about a week later, she'd call and say, I'm leaving. People are serving me. And I give her the same appeal. You're the closest thing that they've had to Srila Prabhupada. Let them serve Prabhupada through you. And under that condition, she would stay. But how did she stay? When anybody came to her room, she had arranged prasad for them. Anybody who came to the room, even the people who were caring for her, what to speak of the guests, she would have them, before they could even talk to her practically or ask her how she was, take this prasad. She would counsel them, she would serve, give them something, make sure they're comfortable, give them chairs. Where do these devotees get this spirit from? We were speaking the other day about Srila Prabhupada on a lecture he gave on Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disappearance. There, at the end of his talk, after speaking so many wonderful stories of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and his own relationship with him, he said, I thank all of you very much. Now, each and every one of us, as you're listening to Prabhupada's words, which I'm just repeating, please take it very personally. Because Krishna consciousness is a personal philosophy, where we are personally trying to inspire each other. And when Prabhupada's speaking in his books, in his lectures, through his devotees, he's speaking personally to each and every one of us. Srila Prabhupada said, I thank you so much. Because actually, you are all the representatives of my Guru Maharaj. And then you could hear on the tape, Srila Prabhupada begins to cry. There's a pause when you hear him crying. Then with a choked voice, he said, because you are all helping me to execute the order of my Guru Maharaj. In this way,
Srila Prabhupada saw all of us as the representatives of his Guru Maharaj. And the Acharya teaches by his example. This means that we should see each other as the representatives of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Jayapataka Maharaj, he had a stroke some years ago. And after major surgeries and everything else, he was in Bhaktivedanta Hospital. And I happened to be coming from somewhere, and I was picked up at the airport, and I was in a car driving to our temple in Mumbai. And I happened to call Srila Jayapataka Maharaj at the hospital. And I didn't even mean it, because I considered it impossible. But as we were talking, I said, in a couple of weeks we're having our Pune Yatra, where about 5,000 devotees are going to be coming to Pune. Would you like to come? He said, yes, I would like to come. So he couldn't even stand up. He was laying down. So then he would tell his doctors, I'm going to Pune Yatra. And devotees, no, doctors, all the doctors, no, you cannot go, it's too dangerous, it's a 4-hour drive, it's not such a good road and everything like that, it's 4 hours each way, and it's too much disturbance, and you're in very, very dangerous condition. And he said, but Maharaj invited me. So this is going on, I guess, every day. So the doctors called me and said, you have to take away that invitation. He really wants to go. I said, what? You mean he actually wants to go? And they said, yes, he wants to go. And we're all arguing with him. He says, but Maharaj invited me. And all the doctors, you know, he said, you're supposed to be following Maharaj, so why are you saying something different? So I was thinking, how am I supposed to uninvite him? Meanwhile, this doctor, who was the main doctor, who wasn't a devotee, came from another hospital, and he came. And all of our doctors, they had their strategy. We'll get this main doctor, the person who actually performed, you know, the immediate original care, we'll get him to say that you cannot go, it's too dangerous. So they explained it to him. And this main doctor, who wasn't a devotee, would you like to hear what he told the devotee doctors? He said the best thing to do for Jayapataka Maharaj is to go to Pune Yatra. Nothing else will be so good for his health. The doctor said, how is that? What is that? And he said, because I have been observing that he only lives for one thing, to give pleasure to the devotees. I have observed in him that what brings him the most happiness is showing compassion to the devotees. And his happiness will be the greatest medicine. Let him go and make the devotees happy. And he came. He actually came. He was laying in a stretcher on the back of an ambulance, and they took him out and they propped him up in front of about 5,000 people, and he gave a 2-hour lecture. And he couldn't even talk hardly, but he still gave a 2-hour lecture, and everyone was weeping and crying. because he's seen all us as representatives of his Guru Maharaj. That's how Srila Prabhupada taught us. And I'm so happy that our movement is really coming together to give the highest emphasis on devotee care. Thank you very much.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vachadine Nirvishesha Sanyadadi Pasatya Dasatarine Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vachadine Nirvishesha Mukhagaroti Chalam Pangolangaya Tegahem Yatki Patamahan Bande Sigranti Dhainam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Swaram Hariam Tatsat. So you were hearing His Holiness Radhanath Swami.
His Holiness Radhanath Swami.
And I put myself after him because
I
thought in case I get delayed.
Because I thought in case I get delayed,
I will buffer. But I forgot he's a difficult act to follow.
But I forgot that he's a difficult act to follow.
And then he embarrasses me right now.
And then he embarrassed me right in front of me.
But in this verse, we see that Krishna doesn't have to do anything.
We see that Krishna doesn't have to do anything.
He has his energies, which are very healthy, to do all his bidding.
We see that he has his energies who are happy to do all his bidding.
So they manifest the material world, spiritual world, and do all the things needed.
So they manifest the material world, the spiritual world, and do all the things that are needed.
What does he do? What does Lord Krishna do?
What does Lord Krishna do?
It says he likes to personally take care of his devotees.
It says that he likes to personally take care of his devotees.
That's what he does.
That's what he does.
And you see how Srila Prabhupada was performing a very intimate service.
We see that how Srila Prabhupada was performing a very intimate service
in helping Lord Krishna take care of devotees.
in helping Lord Krishna take care of devotees.
We see how Radhanath Swami
We see how Radhanath Swami
is doing a very intimate service to Radha.
is doing a very intimate service to Srila Prabhupada.
In taking care of devotees.
In taking care of devotees.
I had the mercy
I had the mercy
to join with Prabhupada in 1968.
in 1968.
And then one day I heard a class
I heard a class
on Prabhupada in 1967
by Prabhupada
about Prabhupada
in
in 1967.
1967.
So that was before my time.
That was before my time.
So I thought, oh, let's listen.
So I thought, so let's listen.
Well, I was amazed
I was amazed
that at that time, Srila Prabhupada suffered a stroke,
that at that time Srila Prabhupada suffered a stroke
and he was paralyzed from the neck down.
and he was paralyzed from the neck down.
He told his secretary,
But he told his secretary,
I don't want to stay in the hospital.
I don't want to stay in the hospital.
But the doctors wouldn't release him.
But the doctors wouldn't release him.
So the secretary had to sneak him out the back door.
So the secretary had to sneak him out the back door
In a wheelchair.
in a wheelchair.
And so they hid him in the basement of the 26th Second Avenue.
So they hid him in the basement of 26 2nd Avenue.
Now you think, normally if a person is paralyzed, neck down,
So if you think, normally, if a person is paralyzed, neck down,
not much he can do.
there's not much he can do.
And probably he would just lie there,
And probably he would just lie there,
but not Prabhupada.
but not Prabhupada.
He was thinking how to care for these devotees,
He was thinking how to care for these devotees,
how to instruct them.
how to instruct them.
They'll come to him.
They have come to me.
So the men were bathing him with sponge and
So some men
dressing
were,
up,
bathing him with sponge,
dressing him up.
dressing him up,
And then he was talking.
and then he was talking.
His head was working. He was preaching non-stop.
His head was working. He was preaching non-stop.
His body was paralyzed.
Although his body was paralyzed,
He was getting it out. Look at the reaction. Paralyzed and down. Still he's telling them how to get proof in this material world.
You can imagine, he's paralyzed from top to bottom. Still he is telling them how to get free from this material world.
How much mercy Prabhupada had.
How much mercy Prabhupada had.
And how much we're so indebted.
And how much we are so indebted.
Sometimes he would tell people.
Sometimes he would tell people
to make them humble.
To make them humble.
I went to Prabhupada,
I went to Prabhupada and I said,
I am the most fallen.
I am the most fallen.
Prabhupada interrupted.
Prabhupada interrupted.
You're not the most anything.
You're not the most anything.
I'm still trying to get over that.
I'm still trying to get over.
I still remember that.
I still remember that.
But then I saw he was talking to my mother.
I saw how he was talking to my mother.
Who came all the way from America to India.
Who came all the way from America to India.
And he was explaining the philosophy to her in very simple terms.
He was explaining the philosophy to her in very simple terms.
We are the what did he say, son? We are the living force.
He said we are the living force
in the body.
In the body.
When that leaves, the body is dead.
When that leaves, the body is dead.
Like this, explained to my Purvashra mother so simply.
So like this, he explained to my Purvashram mother so simply
that even she could understand.
That even she could understand.
And then she sit down every day. She was giving a bouquet of flowers to Prabhupada.
So she would come every day and give a bouquet of flowers to Prabhupada.
Prabhupada blessed her.
Prabhupada blessed her.
Said she was a devotee.
And said that she was a devotee.
Then she started chanting.
Then she started chanting.
4 hours a day.
4 rounds a day.
All very merciful Prabhupada.
How very merciful Prabhupada is.
So, that's a spiritual care.
That's spiritual care.
But then, I told this example. I stepped on a nail.
I told this example that I stepped on a nail.
Prabhupada, he wrote to me.
Prabhupada, he wrote to me.
I don't know how he found out.
I don't know how he found out.
What he did.
But he did.
And he wrote to me.
And he wrote to me.
I heard you injured your foot.
I heard that you have injured your foot.
Your body is dedicated to Krishna's service.
Your body is dedicated to Krishna's service.
So you should take care of it.
So you should take care of it.
And like this.
So like this.
He wrote some encouraging words.
He wrote some encouraging words.
To get such an unsolicited, unexpected letter from Srila Prabhupada.
To get such an unsolicited, unexpected letter from Srila Prabhupada.
It's something I can imagine.
It's something you can imagine.
So wonderful.
So wonderful.
So Prabhupada, whether physical or whether spiritual, he was always trying to help.
So Prabhupada, whether it was physical or spiritual, he was always trying to help.
One thing that Radhanath Swami brought up,
one thing that Radhanath Swami brought up,
all the arrangements he made for the devotees who came from around the world.
All the devotees that all the arrangements that he made for devotees who came from around the world.
1 year in the very beginning,
1 year in the very beginning,
he saw there were no brahmacharis at the class.
He saw that there were no brahmacharis at the class.
So he went over to the brahmachari ashram.
So he went over to the brahmachari ashram
to see. So they're all lying down.
He saw that they're all lying down.
Bengal belly.
Bengal belly.
And maybe they ate too much prasadam.
Maybe they ate too much prasadam.
But Prabhupada said, if they have enough appetite, they can digest a stone.
They can digest a stone.
So then he started kirtan.
So then he started kirtans, parikramas.
You know, the devotees, when they start dancing and
devotees would start dancing,
going on parikrama,
going out on parikrama.
They got appetite.
Then they got their appetite.
Then he would give a lecture.
Then he would give a lecture.
He said, you get 1,000 times.
And you get 1,000 times
more benefit here in the Holy Dham.
More benefit here in the Holy Dham.
So what is 1,000 times 0?
So what is 1,000 times 0? 0.
So he was stressing that.
So he was stressing that
the vacation of the Dham is to do as much seva as you get.
The purpose of visit to the Dham is to do as much seva as you can get.
Because then you multiply that by 1,000.
Then you can multiply that by 1,000.
And you get a big quantity.
And then you get a big quantity.
I take home a sack.
You can take home a sack
of jewels.
Of jewels.
So somehow Krishna likes to take care of his devotees.
So somehow Krishna likes to take care of his devotees.
And so every devotee is dear to Krishna.
Every devotee is dear to Krishna.
And we heard so many examples. Every devotee is dear to Srila Prabhupada.
We heard so many examples of how every devotee is dear to Srila Prabhupada.
So every devotee should be treated with utmost respect and care.
So every devotee should be treated with utmost respect and care.
But we should also follow at least the minimum etiquettes.
We should also follow at least the minimum etiquettes.
Somehow here we have some questions down for the Prabhupada disciples and senior devotees.
So somehow here we have some seats for Prabhupada disciples and senior devotees.
But I don't see a similar setup for the ladies.
I don't see a similar setup for the ladies.
There are many Prabhupada disciples.
There are many Prabhupada disciples.
Ladies who are here.
Ladies who are here.
That's our shortcoming.
That's our shortcoming.
I saw Malati Devi, others that
I saw Malati Devi
don't have a proper seat.
and others who don't have proper seat.
And maybe they need chairs in old age, I don't know.
Maybe they take chairs due to their old age.
But anyway, we want that in ISKCON, we should try to take Krishna's inspiration, that he likes to care for his devotees.
In ISKCON, we should take inspiration from Krishna that if he likes to take care of his devotees,
If he appreciates his devotees,
if he appreciates his devotees,
and even the devotees of his devotees,
and even the devotees of his devotees,
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote to Prabhupada,
Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote to Srila Prabhupada
and if you preach this message around the world,
that if you preach this message around the world,
it will be very good for you,
it would be very good for you
and for those who help you,
and for those who help you.
who would like to help Prabhupada.
Who would like to help Prabhupada?
Wow. An army.
That's an army.
So everyone, I see you're all helping, I'm sure.
Actually, you're all helping him, I'm sure.
Through book distribution,
Through book distribution,
through congregational preaching,
through congregational preaching,
the temple services,
through temple services,
through various activities.
through various activities.
So everyone is very dear.
So everyone is very dear.
We have in the past treated devotees without care.
We have in the past devotees who didn't receive care.
We treated them without care.
We treated them without care.
And we want to change the way that devotees see each other.
We want to change the way that devotees see each other.
And usually you see that super soul is present in everyone's heart.
At least we can see that the super soul is present in everyone's heart.
And therefore we're supposed to respect everyone.
Therefore, we are supposed to respect everyone.
But the devotees, they're special
But the devotees, they are special
because they're serving the Lord.
because they are serving the Lord.
That's a very rare thing.
That's a very rare thing.
Out of all the people in the world,
Out of all the people in the world,
how many chant Hare Krishna?
how many chant Hare Krishna?
How many serve the Lord?
How many serve the Lord?
Not many yet.
Not many yet.
So the devotees we get, we should be very, very careful.
So the devotees we get, we should be very, very careful.
And we should try to treat them with the utmost care.
And we should try to treat them with utmost care.
A few days ago in ILS,
A few days ago in the ILS,
His Holiness Radhanath Swami spoke
His Holiness Radhanath Swami spoke
how Prabhupada had declared war.
how Prabhupada had declared war.
And so, with the Kali Yuga or with
Kali Yuga
material vision,
or with material vision, illusion.
And so in this war, as in any war, some people get wounded.
So in this war, as in any war, some people get wounded.
And then they need some spiritual care,
And they may need some spiritual care,
or they need some physical care,
or they may need some physical care,
or emotional care.
emotional care.
But we need some caregivers.
So we need some caregivers.
And apart from that,
Apart from that,
every devotee should try to be very careful
every devotee should try to be very careful
in how they treat other devotees.
in how they treat other devotees.
Once
Prabhupada said
in Vrindavan
in Vrindavan,
that in the presence of my Gurudev,
in the presence of my Gurudev,
his disciples didn't fight.
his disciples didn't fight.
But after he left,
they fought.
But in my presence,
you're fighting.
What will happen after I leave?
Well, what will happen after I leave?
So he was very concerned
with
the future.
about the future.
But somehow we're cooperating together.
We are cooperating together.
And this is what Prabhupada had instructed us.
And this is what Prabhupada had instructed us.
But now we're concerned what will happen in the future.
We are concerned what will happen in the future.
How will the movement stay together?
How will the movement stay together?
So one of the threads that brings this cloth stay together.
So one of the threads that brings us all to stay together
is devotee care.
Is devotee care.
And that care, the one that is there, then the devotees naturally like to stay.
So that care, the moment that is there, then the devotees naturally like to stay.
Because you find that care outside.
Otherwise they'll try to find that care outside.
Where will you find it outside?
Where do you find that care outside?
People actually that smiling and making you think that they get care.
There are people who smile and make you feel that you're going to get some care.
But they're just exploiting you.
But they're just exploiting you.
Only the people who are only devotees are actually selfless.
Only devotees are actually selfless.
And they can give care simply to please Krishna.
And they can give care simply to please Krishna.
Simply because they see you are very dear to Krishna.
Simply because they see that you are very dear to Krishna.
We should be very careful.
We should be very careful.
It says, if you commit an offense,
it says that if you commit an offense
to a senior Vaishnava, that's a Mata Hati.
That's a Mata Hati.
Mad elephant.
Mad elephant.
But somewhere else it says that even a senior devotee, if they offended a junior devotee,
if they offend a junior devotee,
they can be stopped in their spiritual progress.
They can be stopped in their spiritual progress.
A very, very serious thing.
It's a very, very serious thing.
We all want to get love of Godhead.
We all want to get love of Godhead.
Here, how many want to get love of Godhead? And then we have to treat each other very carefully.
So we have to treat each other very carefully.
And one way to do that is to give care to each other.
So one way to do that is to give care to each other.
So, since you all have your seminars, I should be careful.
Since you all have your seminars, I should be careful.